Hello everyone, welcome to this tutorial. My name is Mehdi from 3D Redbox channel, and today we are going to talk about how to achieve this kind of result inside Substance Painter with using Stencil. And before that, we are going to cover a new feature inside Substance Painter which is very useful, and I used it to create this material inside Substance Painter. So let's go for the tutorial. And before jumping into the video itself, let me introduce you the brand new tutorial and the course that we released for Substance Painter. Learning Substance Painter is easier than ever. Hey all substance lovers, texture seekers, and awesome future artists. Welcome to ultimate course for learning Substance Painter from zero to hero. Ready to learn how to texture with different projects? Substance Master released a brand new course for those who want to learn to texture with Substance Painter. In this course, we cover from preparing the model to rendering different projects, different challenges. If you want to level up your skill in texturing, come and check the Substance Master Ultimate course for learning Substance Painter. Okay, before using UV sets inside Substance Painter in our project, let me explain you in the concept. Okay, this simple cube has this UV layout. Okay, and due to our limitation 0 to 1 UV space, we need to pack because we are going to texture it in Substance Painter. So we rotate this to use the much space that we can. And for this little space in here, okay, we couldn't see in action, so we can decrease this section, this UV island, okay? So this is a situation that we have. And if we use this technique, the drawback of that is when we want to match the size of the texture, okay, not the quality. When we tile the texture, okay, there is a difference, as you can see in here, between this section and here. Okay, so we want to solve this issue with UV set inside Substance Painter with this new feature. Okay, and we have another problem here. The rotation, the direction of this UV island is different. So we have a problem here, the rotation and the size, okay? And how we are going to solve this issue? This is the UV layout that I'm going to bake all the data related to my textures into this UV layout, okay? But I'm not going to use any rotation option inside Substance Painter to fix this issue, or creating different layers and play with the tiling. So I'm going to create a new UV channel here, okay, UV channel number 1, and create this UV layout, okay? But the issue for this type of UV layout is we have UV cut seam all over the edges. And the problem is we couldn't continue our texture in here. And you cannot see the continuous here. So I create another UV set here, or UV channel. And as you can see, the UV or the texture on the UV is continuous. Okay. So I'm going to save it, and let's go back to the Substance Painter and explain what's happening inside Painter. Okay, now we are in Substance Painter, and as you can see, the UV that we're going to work on it is the rotated one. Okay, so I'm going to create a fill layer here. Let's rename it to test. And in the base color, I'm going to, for example, use this fabric circle. And let's increase tiling to 5. And as you can see, the rotation is not correct. and we have this issue here. Okay, and the first solution for this kind of issue is using the projection tri-planar. Okay, so it fixed already, as you can see, but it's a simple cube. What if we have a complex shape? Okay, the tri-planar is not a good answer for complex shape, and what we can do, we can change the projection to UV set, and in the UV set we have UV set 0, which we can see it here. Okay, as you can see in the source UV set numbers 0, it's no effect, so it means we can see it right now. And we have issue here, the size and the rotation. Okay, the UV set number 1, it fixed the size problem. Okay, and as you can see, we have rotation for each UV island that we create. But in UV set number 2, we solve the size problem, and we can see the continuous effect here. So in this way, we can use different UV channel inside Substance Painter very easy. Okay, so let's go to the project, and I'm going to show you what is the purpose of using this technique. Okay, now it's time to focus on our project. This video is related to how to create, edge wear effect on the surface in natural way. So I skipped the wood creation material process for this video. So I create this smart material, and I'm going to share it with you. You can find it in the description, with the link in the description. And before jumping to how to use the stencil for creating realistic effect on the surface, let's talk about the UV set technique in this project. Okay, so I'm going to create a fill layer here. Let's add a black mask and let's add a fill. Okay, in the grayscale section, let's use this one. Okay, I'm going to put it on 5. Okay, the problem is, according to UV layout that we create inside Rhizome Lab, the main goal was using maximum space in each UV tile. Okay, so for this purpose, I need to rotate each UV island 90 degrees to fill out maximum space. So when we use direction noise on UV projection method, as you can see, we have this kind of direction. Okay, and it's not good for me. And the first solution is change projection to triplanar. Okay, it fixes so many issues, but the problem is, okay, it's okay, we have this direction here, but in here I don't want this. Okay, maybe in here I don't want this too, because I need 90-degree direction or top-down direction here, not left-right. So the triplanar, it's not a good solution for me here. I can do another thing, for example, duplicate this direction noise and mask this area that I don't want it, and after that I duplicate the direction noise, change the rotation 90 degrees, and boom, it's done. Okay, but the better solution is here, UV set. So in UV set 0, I have this effect. I don't want it. But in UV set number 1, I fix the rotation and direction by my own. Okay, and boom, as you can see, easy. I fixed the scale and the rotation issue at the same time with UV set technique. Let me show you what happened in the Rhizome or in the UV section. Okay, this is the UV channel number 1. Okay, so the goal was reach the maximum space in UV tile. So we done this, but in UV channel number 2, as you can see, the rotation and the direction, it was my goal, and the scale around all UV island. Okay, so this is the UV set number 1 or UV island number 2, and in Substance Painter, as you can see, I have this result. So the benefit of using this kind of technique for texture or fill layer, it's enormous achievement inside Substance Painter. It's not a game changer yet, but it's a good feature. Okay, so when you use this material and you feel okay, something wrong, you need to check the UV set and the source of it. So let's go back here, and we are going to talk about the edge and wear effect and create more realistic edge and wear effect on the surface in our material with using a stencil. Okay, so the main and the best reference for us when we want to create wood burn effect is using real images. Okay, so the best way is transfer all the data or the data that we want from the image to the texture. Okay, so we create a library for you for the wood and other things. You can check it on the market, and the technique that we are going to use for this is stencil. It means you have a mask which is created based on the real images or real world, and you are going to project that mask on the surface, and you have a natural detail on the surface. You can find the product link in the description. Okay, let me import all the wood stencil or imperfection to this project, and as you can see, we have different masks that we can use inside Substance Painter, and we can use this mask in 2 different ways. For the first, we can use each image or each stencil as a single image, or we can create a stencil sheet inside Photoshop and save it as a different resource, import it as a stencil, and use it inside Substance Painter. So let's go back to the project and start our work. Okay, and in here I have this layer. Okay, and in this layer I can paint any mask that I want, and it's going to invert for the top layer, and we have this result. Okay, so let me add a fill layer and load some, for example, paint peeled. Okay, and this is the effect that we have. But when we use perceptual texture or generator, it's going to give us a generic result, and it's not good in overall term, because we need to give a unique feel to our material and the texture. Okay, and the fast way is using stencil. We can paint all the detail with the brushes inside Substance Painter, but when we use stencil or imperfection texture, we are in the next level, because the mask is ready. You just need to find the position and paint the detail over there. Okay, so let's use some of them, and after that I'm going to apply all the detail that I want into this model. So for using stencil or imperfection, I need paint layer, okay? And I need to go to the paint section, and here I can use the stencil. So let's load the first image here, okay? And this is the stencil, the live mask, okay? So for controlling this, I need to hold S on the keyboard, okay, and with the right mouse button and moving mouse, we can zoom in or zoom out or scale up or scale down the stencil, okay. For rotation, S and left mouse button, okay. For panning or reposition the mask, we use the middle mouse button. And for each transformation or navigation for the stencil, you need to hold S on the keyboard, okay. And please be aware if your language on the Windows is not on the English, this not going to work. So this is the problem that I have all the time with the language. And in here I'm going to paint all the detail here, okay, like this, in here, and boom. So after that I can go to the regular paint, use eraser or black paint and remove some area that I want or I don't want in the paint, okay, like this. So let's go back here, and I'm going to use another image like this one, okay, that's good. And I'm going to paint here like this. Let's remove it, invert the color, and now I can control the result, okay, like this. So I can increase the height value here, okay. Let me choose this one. Yeah, it's so much better. Okay, and let's go back to the paint. You can use different paint layer to control the detail. For example, for this section, you just need to use one paint layer, and for the next one, you can add another paint layer to the data separately. It's a better way. Okay, so this is the main method and the only thing that I'm going to use here. Add detail with the stencil in this mask, and I'm going to pause the video, and after that I'm going to show you what's happened after that and close this tutorial. Okay, we are done, and let's have a breakdown of what I did. So for the first layer, I use metal edgeware and dirt generator. Okay, so this is the effect, and we can see it in the mask. So there are some area that I don't want to have this effect on it, so I just add a paint layer, change blending mode to subtract, and I just paint over and remove the area. Okay, so let's go for the grunge paint scratch layer. It's like subtract and removing some area from dirt and metal edge generator to achieve a realistic look, not a generic one. Okay, so The next one is layer number 1. As you can see, I use a stencil to add this kind of effect on the mask. The second one is like that. The third one, I use a stencil again, and this is the fourth and fifth. Okay, so we have all the detail that we want in front of the object, like this. That's great. And for the edges, I need more intensity, but the metal edge, it's not like what I need. So I add another paint and work on the edges, as you can see. Again, with the stencil, with different picture, I just project the mask on the surface and remove area, add some area again with the brush, and this is the general workflow that I followed. Okay, so as you can see, I have some detail in here, and that's good. So after adding all this data, I feel we can have more surface wear. Okay, so I use grunge paint scrap, but the lowest opacity. Okay, like this, before, after, and again another grunge, crack dipped, and this is the result. Okay, so I push out with the level to have more clean and avoid noisy mask. That's good. As you can see, this is the result. But I feel the surface is not, it's not complex. So I need to have another layer. So I just add a paint cover on it. It's a simple one. And in the mask, I just use the same technique, as you can see. Let's go to the mask, turn off all the sub layers. For the first one, I use the dirt, okay? And its effect on the dirt area very slightly, okay? And I pick some area, as you can see in here, and add some details. Another layer of the detail here, and like this. So the last one is subtraction layer, and at the end I just want to mention the edges, so I remove the edges from this mask. So we have this result, and that's it. And if we want to paint all this detail with the brush, simple brush, or even using some custom brushes, it's near impossible. But using a stencil, using images as a mask projection technique, it's a good way to achieve this kind of result. And this is for this tutorial. I hope you can find this useful for you. You can download the material in the description with the link, and you can reach out the product that I used here for the wood stencil again in the description. So have fun, be creative, goodbye.